No, no, you go ahead. Thank कृष्ण दामोदरं रामनारायणं जानकी वल्लभम् अच्युतं केशवं कृष्ण दामोदरं रामनारायणं जानकी वल्लभम् कौन कहते हैं भगवान आते नहीं।
Principal Shri Vrindavan Bihari Lal Ki Jai. Sitaram, good morning to everyone. Assalamu alaikum. As we are gathered here this morning, of course, for the funeral of our Uncle Boysie Sirju, I ask that all of you take a flower first, a yellow flower. We first begin by praying to Bhagwan Vishnu, by whose will and grace all the rituals we are doing today be deemed possible and may it be fruitful. Let's begin with a prayer to Bhagwan Vishnu. Om Yam Brahma Varunendra Rudrumurta Suravanta Devyaistavaid Vedai Sangra Parakramopanishide Gayanti Yam Samagaha Jnana Vastata Targatena Manasa Pashyanti Yam Yogino Yashyantam Navidu Sura Suragana Devaya Tashmai Namaha Devaya Tashmai Namaha Devaya Tashmai Namaha. Principal Shri Mahavishnu Bhagwan Ki Jai. Place flowers anywhere on the box is fine. So, everyone, the rituals that we are performing today is not really puja. We are decorating the body for its final destination, meaning for it to be returned to the base elements from whence or which it came. Through the medium of the fire, when we invoke that form of Agni, Krav Agnim, by the funeral home, we reduce all of his body to its base elements to ash. And so on, he is released from his attachment to this body. Uncle Boysie is here with us, but he is everywhere but India. This is the one place he could no longer be. This is why this is the body of Uncle Boysie, not our Uncle Boysie, just the body. So, while we perform some of the rituals to decorate and prepare the body, I would ask that light bhajans continue to be played in the background.
अच्युतं केशवं कृष्ण दामोदरं रामनारायणं जानकी वल्लभम् अच्युतं केशवं कृष्ण दामोदरं रामनारायणं जानकी वल्लभम् कौन कहता है भगवान गोपियों की तरह तुम न चाहते नहीं अच्युतं केशवं कृष्ण दामोदरं राम नारायणं जानकी वल्लभम् नाम जपते चलो काम करते चलो हर समय कृष्ण का ध्यान करते चलो अच्युतं केशवं कृष्ण दामोदरं राम नारायणं जानकी वल्लभम् याद आएगी उनको कभी ना कभी कृष्ण दर्शन तो देंगे कभी ना कभी अच्युतं केशवं कृष्ण दामोदरं राम नारायणं जानकी वल्लभम्
From Sibulier Sri Vrindavan Bihari Lal Ki Jai. So we have done the preliminary decoration of the body, which is already half of the funeral service, you can say, for this part, right? It is at this point we will share a bit on what exactly is going on. As I said, Uncle Boysie is here with us right now, but he is in the form of an invisible light that we cannot see, a very fragile form, and he is now understanding that death has really happened. That this is not just a dream, that he could no longer return to his body, that this time as Boysie Sirju has been completed. In this form, he is not what we call a bhoot or anything like that. He is but a pret. He is a form spiritual, and he will continue from this day for the next 10 days to grow. Uncle Boysie will then begin his journey after the 13 days, which will take 1 year for him to go from the status of a pret to a pitra, where he is now in the realm of our ancestors and can receive worships during our time of Pitri Baksh and various other times when we perform ancestral rites. But in times of death, our karma comes into play. What is karma? Karma is all of the actions that we had while we walked the face of this earth. And I was blessed to actually know Uncle Boysie, and I know that many of the things that he did upon this earth will have a lasting effect. And all of us here will remember him as a very good person. Well, at least he was good to me. So I could say Jai Shri Ram to that. Uncle Boysie, he left us suddenly. We weren't prepared, no one was prepared. But I think in that way, if he had a choice, that might have been his choice to go too. Like, Uncle Boysie would not want such a worry over him. Uncle Boysie would not want to stay and have to suffer in any way. And Jai Shri Ram, he was granted that. When we are born, the one thing we are guaranteed is that a day such as this will come to each and every one of us. The only guarantee in life is that it will end. When it comes to that end, there's a famous bhajan that I love. It says, Kabira jabaham pera hume jagah se hamaro aise kamre kharcharo hamah se jagaroe. What it is saying is that when I die, well, I should go a little bit before. What it says is that when a child is born, the child is crying and the world celebrates. When someone dies, the world cries, but I want to celebrate. I want to be happy to leave and go where I'm going, because what I did on this earth will give me a safe, easy, and happy journey. And in my capacity as, I can say, a nephew to him, I am guaranteed that there's no worry for his journey. So what we are doing is just to help prepare the body. Let him see himself in a very nice, beautiful way, being offered into Agni to be consumed by the fire. It is at this point we would invite the floor open to anyone who may have something to say. I believe there are those present, so we invite you one at a time to come, take the mic, and share some knowledge with us on our Uncle Boysie, or whatever knowledge you may have to share with us.
Good morning, everyone. Cedar Hill, Pandit Ji, Boysie's wife and his son, who I know. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Patrick Kwankep, and I'm associated with Boysie through education. I was a principal for 40-odd years, and I know him lately through a group called the RDA, which is a group for people who have retired to reflect and rejuvenate. So I am well acquainted with him for the last 5 or 6 years or so. And Boysie, I am representing a group called the RDA, and we have been in constant touch. Like every month we used to meet and we would talk and discuss things, among other things then. So that I want to say that I am talking about Boysie through what you might call knowledge of him as a companion, as a friend, as a colleague. So Boysie, what I'm going to say, in fact, is I think I'm representing the group, and when I'm going to read what I'm going to say because I wrote something, and I may as well say it because I'm representing the views of our group. So give me 1 second there. Boysie was dear to us. He was a colleague, friend, and he was a constant companion in our times. He was a quiet-spoken, humble, and respectful man. He carried himself with dignity and with his love for his friends and people in general. In our lives, I call it our lives, he was among the first to reach and the last to leave. He played a pivotal role in helping prepare the food and in organizing the activities. He will be surely missed, and our group will not be the same with his absence. I therefore wish, on behalf of the group, the RDA, to express our heartfelt sympathy to his wife, son, and family. It is not often in life that we come across people with his humility, his unselfishness, and his love for the human race. He may have been short in stature, but he stood tall and head and shoulders above his peers and many of the people he interacted with. May God bless him, and may he have a very good journey, as the pundit said. I want to end off with a piece of a poem from an American poet called Henry Wadsworth Longfellow, which was written in about 1838. Lives of great men all remind us that we too can be sublime, and in departing leave behind footprints in the sands of time. Boysie, God bless you, and may you have a very eventful and safe journey ahead. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen, for listening.
We leave the floor open.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I am Frank Ramkissoon. Flanked by me is guys who went to Asha Boys College. This is a part of Boysie's life that played a pivotal role in young men, and then we became older guys. I won't share how old we are, but Boysie could tell you that. We started off in 1973, circa around September, early September in 1973. And then we went on for 5 years in Asha Boys College. I was very fortunate to have sat next to Boysie in college. I repeated this last night before, and I will repeat it again because it's noteworthy that it should be repeated. Boysie was exceptionally bright, and I was flanked by two bright guys, Simon Alexander and Boysie Sirju. I was kind of dunce. However, I thought that I would have gotten some brain by osmotic action with them. That never really happened. However, their influence on me was exceptional, because Boysie would have explained things to me, and I just wonder, well, where he getting these words of wisdom? Because we get in being taught by the same teacher, but I am getting this information and not being able to assimilate it. Boysie sat with me from time to time for many years in that 5-year period. Alongside us was about 120 of us. So when we entered Asha Boys College in 1973, I still wonder how we fit in those small classes. Because at this point in time, when I go back to the college and I see in my alma mater what that size of class, I was just saying like I was maga. All of us here were maga, but you know, Angus has put on a little bit of weight. So these are just a part representative of the 5 years we spent at Asha Boys College. I was very fortunate that I lived in Bodnaf, which was not a stone's throw away in that time to where Boysie lived. And I used to come up to Boysie's home, and he used to come down to by me. We used to take bicycle and ride and come up. And the distance never seemed far. In those those times back, never seemed far. Now just going down High Street seemed too far. Because we perhaps get lazy, or perhaps we thinking differently. Anyway, Boysie used to go and come, I used to go and come here. I need to pay tribute to his parents. So I know his mother exceptionally well, and his father drive, and he is a reflection of Boysie. Very few words, Very, very few words. I think we used to call him Drive, and his mother. When we come into the old house here, we used to walk up the step, go up in the little kitchen there, and she would bodi and roti, whatever it is they have. I'm sure I was going to get some food. And we would spend time here making chow, doing odd things that guys did. As we grew up in Asha Boys College, again, we met different peoples from different walks of life, different areas, catchment areas in the country, and we built relationships. Those relationships had stood lifelong for us. At our age, we tend to think, well, boy, unless if you go first, or if I go first, you will say a few words on my behalf. Boysie beat us to it. I know we only have a few time here, but I'll just shorten the thing a little bit. Alexander the Great only lived for 32 years. And in that short 32 years that he lived, he conquered a lot. I will liken Boysie to the Alexander the Great. He's Alexander the Great to me. I don't know what he means to you, but to me he was Alexander the Great to me, because he have me where I am in terms of helping me through school time and whatever it is, through mathematics and whatever, and he used to make it so simple. So Alexander the Great, one of the things that happened to him is that when he died at the young age of 32 years, he asked his soldiers, his generals, that he wants one thing happen. He wanted his doctors, the best doctors that he had, to carry his body. That was one. Cut a hole in the box, put his hand outside and leave it open. Another thing that he wanted to do is to strewn, there were all the jewels and whatever behind him. The message behind that really was to say that even in the face of death, the best doctors cannot help you. When that time comes, it comes. And the best doctors, he let them carry them. And it's really to show the world that even the best doctors couldn't save you. Incidentally, Brian spoke very great about the doctors that has helped them in the hospital and the care that they had gotten from the hospital. It was phenomenal when I talked to Lystra and Linda. So even the best of doctors, even in our times where the hospital don't give you best service or whatever have you, and we know that, he got the best doctors that he had. He died in a short period of time, from Friday evening to Tuesday night, is it? Yeah. So that was a short time. I don't want to will it onto myself, but I would like to have something like that. But first, I would like to go to sleep and not get up. Second is that. To be short and not be painful. So you are given what the Lord has allotted to you. And you have to take it with both hands. We all will face that someday. So, having said that, even the Alexander the Great, Mahatma Gandhi, Nelson Mandela, those great guys have to die. And we have to come to some realization of that. And once we understand that, we need to give up on things that we have now. Your ego, forgive very quickly as fast as it happened. There's so much I can say about Boysie Sirju. Again, he is my Alexander the Great because he has helped me to where I am. Boysie was so brilliant. He went on to A-levels and the University of the West Indies. He could have become an engineer in anything that he chose. He could have gone anywhere to be a doctor in terms of his brilliance. I speak because I know him. I know him longer than Lystra, and I know him longer than Brian and Linda. So I have authority to speak on his behalf, if I may say so. But he didn't choose that. His lot in this life was to give service to humanity, and he took that ability to teach. I said this that recently in the yard, I talked to one of the guys who lives at Siparia, and I asked him, I said, Karen, you know which school you went to? He said, Siparia. I said, really? I said, you know a guy called Boysie Sirju? He said, yes, boy, that was the best teacher I had, the best maths teacher I had. He was real cool. That is just a sample of some of the things that Boysie Sirju would have had and the lives that he has touched at the Superior Senior Com. Again, I am flanked here by the guys from Astra Boys College, by our alma mater, which has carved us with the help of each other and with the help of the teachers that we had into what we are. And that's why we can represent Boise today in this sad, it's bittersweet. It's very bittersweet for me. It's bittersweet from the perspective that I cry inside, but I know we have to go. It's a reality of life. So again, apart from that 57 years we would have known, Boise, I would have known, and the guys here would have known, coming from schoolboys into adulthood, into, when I say we old, but a little older. We will say, thank you, Boise, for your contribution to life, contribution to me, contribution to Astra Boys College. So I say thank you again on behalf of Edwin and the class of 1973 to 1978. I want to say thank you very much, Boise. A job well done. Thank you.
Of course, the floor is still open.
Sitaram, good morning, Panditji and all others. This is indeed a very sad moment for all of us here today. I want to speak on behalf of Boise's last place of work, which is at the Superior Senior Comprehensive School, now the Superior West Secondary School, where he worked for the full term of 33 and a third years. I speak on behalf of all of the teachers, colleagues of Boise who are present here today, and I'm sure of everyone who knows Boise will testify to say that what I'm saying is probably most accurate of him. When I first met Boise, it was because we had this little group, as Mr. Kwan kept said, where you have social events and so on. And as a teacher, once you go into a school, you will be called upon to join this group if you are so inclined. I, being a sportsman, being a social activist, Lima, Boise was similar. And we formed this very strong group. Aiden is here, Christian Lal is here, Wati, Nigel. We formed this group and we had social events and so on. And I learned, we had a lot of discussions, and I learned of Boise's upbringing, his life, and so on. But there are a few things that stood out from Boise. He was a very dedicated husband and father. I remember some of the line we'll have at the Tulsa trees. We would go early and organize and so on, and we'll wait on Boise. And me and Aiden would say, well, why here come a Zet? We're still waiting. But when Boise would come, he would come with 2 reports, which means he would have gone to Jordan Hill to collect the reports of Linda and Brian. And guess what? Those reports were fantastic. So for me, that was so instructive of the father that Boise was. Dedicated to his children, cared for his children, cared for his wife. He learned all about Lystra. And when the Sunny shut down, and she called him, and I said, Boise, don't worry, let's go to the principal. I know him very well, he'll get time off. Because Lystra was in distress. So we went to the principal. I said, Mr. Ramkisoon, you know, Mr. Sirju, car problems and so on. Can you get time off to go and look after it? He said, sure, yeah, you can go. Just apply for the half day. That was it, boys. He never asked me to do any favor for him again. So though small in stature, Boysie was he meant what he would say, and he would say what he would mean. He was a no-nonsense guy. I am a kind of comic. And it took Boysie a while to figure out that most of the things that I would say isn't a joke, right? That's serious. So after he figured that out, we were good. We had some issues earlier, and I said, Boysie, I was just making jokes. But there's another incident I want to say for you all. As teachers in school, we went and played other school sports. We played football and we played cricket. And we had organized this football match with some of the female teachers and their husbands and spouses and so on. And they came to play right in Bakal. I mean, everybody knows Boysie's size, right? But he was a very skillful footballer. They used to call him Maradona. He used to wear these shorts, and he had tough thighs and so on. So he was kind of looking like Maradona. And the opposing team had this really big 6-footer, 6'2", 3". Of course, you know football is a contact sport. And guess what? Boysie and the guy on the floor. Big commotion, game break up. Boysie floored him, and we had to go and get ice and things. And we said, okay, it's just football, you know. So he was a good sportsman. As a matter of fact, Brian and his dad, Boysie, played cricket for a team that I had. If you remember, Brian used to open batting. Yeah, so he was a good sportsman, and sportsmen are like that. They like to play the sports, they like to socialize, and Boysie was like that. So those are the things that stood out for him. We became very, very close. We had so many lines. He organized here. Aiden came. We helped, do some work and so on, and we used to fraternize here quite frequently. He looked forward to those things. He enjoyed company, and you would have heard other speakers say that. He enjoyed being in a group, and he would, he would be there. One more thing I want to say. So we would have our Friday lime and so on in school. We'd go to have some beverages. One thing I could tell you about Boysie, I don't know if Lystra would have told him or who, but Boysie would just get up when the time is and he would leave. And we say, Boysie, hold on, stay for a minute again. Boysie would buy a rounds and he'd gone. So after a while, we knew that for time management, he would leave. It doesn't matter how much you would have begged him to stay on for a few minutes, he would leave. That's the kind of person he was. He would have, I'm sure, committed to Lystra, I'm coming home to go to the grocery or to wherever, and he would leave. That's what he was like. So we became used to that and we understood him. But in summarizing all what I've said, he was a guy who would say what he mean and mean what he would say. You could count on him for that. Very genuine. And I know his passing is indeed a shock to all of us. From the time we heard it, we all felt that deep loss. But we pray for him, and we hope that his journey on to us would be a very peaceful, a very happy one, and may he go back to his Maker and have a happy life hereafter. Thank you all very much.
So we leave the floor open for anyone who may have anything else to say. I see somebody get pointed already, so Jai Shri Ram.
Sitaram, good morning. Well, my name is, everybody know me by Boy, and I lived here for 2 years. And Boysie, I am a friend talking about, know him from so small, but he was like 9 years old, and both of us used to sleep on the same bed for 2 years. And we had this bond, that, I can't explain it really today, but we were so close. And he really, really was such a good human being. And I knew that he got it from his parents. We have to today give tribute to Drive and Daddy. They were the ones who instilled this goodness in him. He was brought up in the most disciplined way, and he lived his life like that. I remember, the experience I had with him. I was like 10 or 11, he was 9. And we used to fight plenty on the bed, because me and he and Drive used to sleep on one bed. And we always, this one getting pushed out and the next one getting squeezed, and thing, and me and Boysie, and But today, when I think about it, these people open up their home to 3 children, Savi, Leela, and myself. And we can't explain in words how grateful we are. That few years made our lives. We went to Cedar Hill school here, and it made us into, better people. Even the rest of siblings, Ramdev, Lalo, Suraj, Nongi, Sita, Judy, they shared their home with 3 of us. And in those days, Daddy working in the cane, Dada breaking bank and cutting cane, and they had about 7 children, I can't remember how much, and they still mind these 3 children with so much love and devotion that we just can't pay back that. And I just want to tell the siblings who hear how much we're so grateful to you all. Now I can't tell Boysie thanks, so at least I can say thanks to the ones who listening. So this is just a few words I want to say that, but it's really sad. But as we say, Lord Krishna knows the one to take. Boysie was such a good person that. Yeah, and like you want to say something too?
I just want to say that we stayed here, and this is an exceptional family. We used to sleep together on one bed, not this way, this share. We used to sleep that way, with foot hanging off the bed. And these siblings never mind. They were really, really good and kind people. And Boysie, we played together. We used to go down in the backyard and catch the little tadpole and bottles and all those things. So that's all I want to say.
Yeah, so we really had a nice time with him. We enjoyed some of our best days in this house. Well, not this one, the whole house. And words can't say how much we're thankful and grateful to you all. And Boysie, I pray, Lord Krishna, bless you, bless your soul, and take you back home with him. Thank you.
That ice block was here, that quality.
Okay.
Because where we live, we have necessary.
Principal Ye Shri Vrindavan Bihari Lal Ki Jai. So, we were blessed. Okay, so it have a famous saying, show me your friends and I'll show you who you are. We were blessed to have 4 different friends that know Uncle Boysie from all different parts of his life. From somebody that shared a bed with him as a child, to friends from Asha, to friends he met later on. We got an idea of all of who he was. And what we learned, Uncle Boysie was a man about duty. His duty to his work, his duty to his family. Until Ashrakal, he shot the man home before he shot fire. Jai Shri Ram. And when I say it was a surprise, when I got the news of what happened, to me it was a real shocker in terms of, I know how Uncle Boysie lived. In terms of, nobody would expect something so sudden to happen to someone who was active, who used to take care of himself. Uncle Boysie at his age was taking better care of himself for longer than I am alive. So, it was a shocker, but as I said, we learned from his friends, from those closest to him, throughout his life, that he was always a man of duty. The last speaker said, Lord Krishna is ready for you. And he is so right, because what that says to me is that his duty here is completed. All that he needed to do here, he has done. Now he goes from being trapped within our body to being that which is immortal, to being the soul. And Uncle Boysie, everybody wishing you a pleasant journey, I am assured that you will have one. So, it is at this point that we will open for viewing of the body. We would ask that you all line up. There's no rush, line up. We would invite you to come from that way. If you have a flower or anything, you place it, walk around, and continue the flow. We ask that immediate family members present themselves first. While we do this, we have such a wonderful crowd. For the benefit of Uncle Boysie, Ram Nam Sankirtanam, sing the name and praises of God. So I ask that who knows, join with us, and if you don't know, hum with us as we invoke the divine name of Bhagwan Krishna, as we proceed with the viewing. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. 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 Om Namo Bhagavate. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. 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 Let's all join in a simple Krishna bhajan. Jai Krishna Hare, Shri Krishna Hare, Dukiyon ko dukh dur kare. Jai 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 Krishna Hare. Jai Krishna Hare, Shri Krishna Hare, Dukiyon ko dukh dur kare. Jai 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 Krishna Hare. जब चार तरफ अंधियारा हो, आशा का दूर किनारा हो। जब चार तरफ अंधियारा हो आशा का दूर किनारा हो जब कोई न केवनहारा हो जब कोई न केवनहारा हो फिर तू ही मेरा पार करो तू ही मेरा पार करो जय 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 कृष्ण हरे जय कृष्ण हरे श्री कृष्ण हरे दुखियों को दुख दूर करे जय 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 कृष्ण हरे तू चाहे तो सब कुछ कर दे विष को भी अमृत कर दे तू चाहे तो सब कुछ कर दे विष को भी अमृत कर दे पूर्ण कर दे सबकी आशा पूर्ण कर दे सबकी आशा जो भी तेरा ध्यान धरे जो भी तेरा ध्यान धरे जय 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 कृष्ण हरे जय कृष्ण हरे श्री कृष्ण हरे दुखियों को दुख दूर करे जय 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 कृष्ण हरे जय कृष्ण हरे श्री कृष्ण हरे दुखियों को दुख दूर करे जय 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 कृष्ण हरे जय 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 कृष्ण हरे जय 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 कृष्ण हरे
कृष्ण गोविंद हरे मुरारे श्रीनाथ नारायण वासुदेवा श्री कृष्ण गोविंद हरे मुरारे श्रीनाथ नारायण वासुदेवा पितुमात स्वामी सखा पितुमात स्वामी सखा
आए भी अकेला जाए भी अकेला 2 दिन की जिंदगी है 2 दिन का मेला आए भी अकेला जाए भी अकेला 2 दिन जिंदगी है 2 दिन का मेरा You sing that. Yeah, sing the Argentina.
आज अंधेरे में है हम इंसान ज्ञान का सूरज चमका रे भगवान आज अंधेरे में है हम इंसान ज्ञान का सूरज चमका रे भगवान। 啊。 बकत रहे हमारा अधिकार भगवन राह दिखारे करम करम पर किन न विचारे भगवन किन न विचारे इन अखियन को प्रभु करारे इन अखियन को प्रभु करारे ज्योति से पहचान ज्योति से पहचान आज अंधेरे में है हम इंसान ज्ञान का सूरज चमका रे भगवान हम तो है संतान तिहारे प्रभु संतान तिहारे हम तो है संतान तिहारे प्रभु संत तिहारे तेरी दया पर हम अधिकारे प्रभु है हम अधिकारे दुनिया हो सुखी हमारी दुनिया हो सुखी हमारी सारे वरदान ऐसा रे वरदान आज अंधेरे में है हम इंसान ज्ञान का सूरज चमका दे भगवान ज्ञान का सूरज चमका दे भगवान हरिओम
और जाए भी अकेला. And in a similar manner, when we take our exit, we shall leave alone. 2 दिन की जिंदगी है, 2 दिन का मेला. When we do take stock of our lives, we realize that this life is a very short visit to a mela. This is a world of strangers. No one is yours. Although everyone lives, I'm still alone. आए भी अकेला और जाए भी अकेला.
त्वमेव माता च पिता त्वमेव त्वमेव बन्धु च सखा त्वमेव त्वमेव विद्या द्रविणं त्वमेव त्वमेव सर्वं मम देव देवा. आए भी अकेला जाए भी अकेला. 2 दिन की जिंदगी है, 2 दिन का मेला. आए भी अकेला जाए भी अकेला. 2 दिन की जिंदगी है, 2 दिन का मेला.
Principal Ye Shri Vrindavan Bihari Lal Ki Jai. So, now, right before we continue with the ritualistic part of today's proceedings, we open the floor one more time, just in case there's anyone who, feel their heart full and want to overflow. Or anyone who wants to view before we continue. Acha.
Pleasant good morning, everyone. My name is Ram Narayan Thakur, aka known as Spider. I think I know him more than probably most people here. I just live a house and a lot away. Boysie and I grew up together back in, I think it was 2 forms lower than myself. But as different people spoke, I think, Kwan Kep and Frank and so forth. I remember so many years ago, Boysie and I used to ride on with our bicycle to go down by Frank and drink some of his father's coconut down there. Frank. Yeah, so it was we have our little mini adventure along our way. Even as I was speaking with his sister a while ago, we had this play yard in the back here. We used to actually play on gravel. Not mud, but gravel out there and out there also. Because when his family used to come down and say, we're going to play, they asked, where? They said, right down there. Thought it was a savannah, they're going to play, but it was in the gravel heap, we're going to play down the back there. If I can reflect about 2 items, as we are pressed for time, I think.
Into this world,
we were part of a club called the Bridge Boy Sports Club. Right? We were very young, a lot of young fellas. And sister was reminding me a while ago, one of our team, we was playing the strikers, Hussein strikers as a matter of fact. And we didn't score anything, but 10 goals was scored against us. But think about the mathematician here, he tell us, oh Lord, we could do it, He was calculating in mathematics, we could make a comeback from 10-0. You understand? So that's the person Boysie was. Also, on many occasions, when he cut the back of his yard right in the back here, and I used to cut in the back also. We used to meet up and have a little chat. You understand? A little friendly thing, but I will surely miss that part of Boysie. He was always a caring father, a providing father for his children, and a husband also for his wife, Listra. We had so many moments that we shared together. Even as I not seen Parker this morning, with El Patel and I, and Boysie used to be linemen. Sometimes we have. I didn't want to know to be an economist, but we had a lot of talk prior to social media so many years ago. He always liked to, we had a small circuit in the back there. We used to run around 3 of us to see how many laps we could make. It was probably about 1.5 miles. As soon as we finished playing our football and cricket, so it was those times, I say like, those were the old days. I don't think we have that coming back here. And we had a friendship that as I hear his colleagues them speak about in school and work in different environment, but I never had that part about my school, about Friday lineman thing. I used to come straight home. That is me. Yeah. That was not part of my social thing. That's all right, no problem. I'm not against people thing, but people live probably in this world we live in. They probably need to release some sort of stress. So on behalf of the villagers, I can safely speak that, you understand? Boysie was a loving and a caring person. He was very concerned also. I think a couple of times my vehicle broke down. I came to borrow his battery to restart my vehicle and so forth. And those who missed it, I spoke about 2 nights ago. I'll give you one of the insight that we went to the swimming pool. A swimming pool up in Couva. But we didn't know about it unless I think Bredo. I see Bredo, you're not here? Right. One of his cousins lived in Couva and he said, there's a swimming pool open up there. But we quite don't see that he had to go to Couva. He said, it's only 25 cents. 25 cents? But I think 25 cents was plenty of money. So we make our way up to Couva by the swimming pool. Before you enter the swimming pool, you have to, when you pay 25 cents, they give you a chit or something. They say, well, put your clothes in the basket. You understand? And we're looking for the basket. But apparently, the person supposed to give the basket wasn't around. So we decided to put our clothes under the bench. You understand? And after having probably an hour and a half or 2 hours of fun, we come to change our clothes, double checking to make sure we have the money and so forth. Apparently, all our money went missing. Somebody was observing our behavior, but Boysie is, well, he's a smart fella. Right? He probably hid his money somewhere deep down, like, those shiny people is a bit way down here. You understand? Yeah, so he had a portion of money. But after checking, he realized that it was 4 of us. So that money couldn't bring us back to Cedar Hill. So he said, let us go to his cousin, I think it's Bredo. So we started walking on some train line up in Couva in the back there. Never gone before, but eventually we did get home. Thanks to he was able to think on the spot every moment. And so that was the person, you understand, we knew Boysie was. And as I said, as I spoke 2 nights ago, Let us continue to live good to our neighbors. As the Bible tells us, tomorrow is promised to no one. Today was his. Tomorrow could be another person. But let us make our life right with God. God is the giver of life. You understand? He's the author and finisher of death. So I thank you all this morning. You'll have a blessed day.
Pleasant good morning to each and every one of you. My name is Rajendra Ramkisoon. I was the vice principal at Separa West Secondary. I had the pleasure of knowing Boysie since 1985 as a friend and as a co-worker for the last 6 years. He was such a pleasant person, very caring, willing to do anything. And every Friday as a rule, we used to make a cook. And Boysie was the first man to put money, right? That's how close he was. On behalf of the staff, myself, and members of Separa West Secondary School, I must say, Boysie, we miss you very much. You are a very important part of our family. May God bless you and take you on a very good journey. Thank you.
Jai Shri Krishna. Namaste, Sitaram. Salam alaikum. Very good morning to each and everyone. Times like these are very difficult to express in words, but the fact that we have so many people who have been very close to this family and to, of course, Boysie, our brother Boysie, says more than words can express. Support is not simply expressed by monetary or, as I said, words, but also to show that support in whichever way we can. Let me just take a moment, if you can, to introduce ourselves. We are some of the brothers of the UE gang, and we shared many, all but short, and I choose my words carefully with Boysie because short was the operative word of the day with him. But we had a lot of fun experiences. I think those experiences helped to create a bond for 41 years. And although we may not have seen each other as frequently as many here, perhaps in the village or the immediate family, of course, we still had that non-blood bond that made us brothers. So my father always left, well, he left something with me, and I'll share this, and then I'll give my other brothers from UE an opportunity to speak and share their words as well. Firstly, our heartfelt condolences to the family. I came here from Canada for a wedding, and in the last 2 days I've had to experience 2 funerals as well. So life is such that the wheels continue to churn. And I think Panditji said very clearly, and some other speakers as well, that we can only move forward. Time is running out. It never waits on anyone. And so, whatever we must do today in our dharma, as Boysie was a good example of that, his first focus was always about duty. Was always about duty. I lived in Woodland, and many Saturdays I would drive by here when the old house was here, just to say hello to Boysie. You know, if we came home on a Friday and it was too late, he would say, "Boys, let's spend the night." Babs, who lived in Rio Clario at that time, we shared a very funky kind of bed. The bed would sink in the middle, and so needless to say, 3 people on a bed, Boysie is in the middle at all times. But those were just 1 or 2 of the memories that I think we would be able to share. There are many, many others. My father said, "Himbat nahariye visariye naram, ban jai sab bigare kaam." Effectively, it says, put your faith in Prabhu Shri Ram, put your faith in God, whatever God that is, and all will be okay. Our faith should be rooted, as one of our previous speakers said, in God. Be good, focus on your dharma, and leave the rest to him.
Into this world we have come
Jai
alone.
Shri Krishna.
और जाए भी अकेला. And in
Yeah,
a
so I will
similar
be
manner,
not long. I know we have some other friends here, but
we shall leave alone.
he touched all our lives by this gathering here, this farewell, this send-off. This says a lot.
Take stock of our lives.
Boysie, we know, touched
Realize
many,
that
many
this
lives.
is a very short visit.
For example, in my own case, apart from UE,
This is a world of strangers.
I actually followed the profession of teaching after Boysie. He would have started in 83, 84, and I was in the private sector. And I remember clearly calling him before I took up the offer interview, and he was telling me, I remember clearly, he said, teaching, Puj, I'm when there are others. Puj, teaching is not a work. I remember him talking about a vocation, and that you're a mentor. He said you'll be a friend and a father to many in the school. There's a little simple saying, I won't be long, but there's a saying, you know, the fruit don't fall far from the tree. And in this case here, we were lucky to meet Boysie's parents. He would invite us for Christmas here. And certainly, when I look at the obituary, and I didn't see the program, but what I see there, they talk about integrity. But what I observe over the years is that he was a man of humility also. Humility, generosity, humor. Of course, with little Pekong, I never see Boysie get upset, unlike me. So these were things that are hallmark, and he left this, he followed from his parents, and I'm happy, Brian and Linda, I'm seeing that you all are following in the footsteps also. And then you have so many, thousands and thousands of students who I'm sure are doing very well now. So those are some of the memories. He influenced me, yes, and I went on to teach up to last year, retired. And he certainly left an indelible mark, not just on the family and friends, but on everybody he touched. So those are my, and we have to continue to pray. Linda, Brian, and daughter, Listra, we continue to pray. It's easy for me to say that he's not in pain, but he is in a better place. We know that. We know he's in a better place. And God, we pray, will continue to give you, family, all friends gathered here, the courage and strength to accept and to move on. Amen, we say that.
On behalf of the university crew, there's a rest in peace, Boysie, and safe travels.
Jai Shri Ram. And at this point now, we will continue with the ceremony. Brian, you all. Om Adya Amugotrasya Shri Boysie Sirju Rama Pretasya Mrityashtani Shavanimitam Dhupam Yadiyate Tavopatishtitam. Stick it in your eyes. Right, then one at a time, take the arti and arti around the body as well. Om Adya Amugotrasya Shri Boysie Sirju Rama Pretasya Mrityashtane Shavanimitam Deepam Yadiyate Tavopatishtitam. Continue. Om Adya Amugotrasya Shri Boysie Sirju Rama Pretasya Mrityashtane Shavanimitam Deepam Vashanshite Maya Diyate Tavopatishtatam. Om Adya Amugotrasya Shri Boysie Sirju Rama Pretasya Mrityashtane Shavanimitam Deepam Vashanshite Maya Diyate Tavopatishtatam.
Hare
मेला, 2 दिन की जिंदगी है, 2 दिन का मेला.
अकेला. Into this world we have come alone, और जाए भी अकेला. And in a similar manner, when we take our exit, we shall leave alone. 2 दिन की जिंदगी है, 2 दिन का मेला. When we do take stock of our lives, we realize that this life is a very short visit to a mela. This is a world of strangers. No one is yours. Although everyone lives, I am still alone. आए भी अकेला और जाए भी अकेला.
त्वमेव माता च पिता त्वमेव, त्वमेव बन्धुश्च सखा त्वमेव, त्वमेव विद्या द्रविणं त्वमेव, त्वमेव सर्वं मम देव देवा. आए भी अकेला, जाए भी अकेला. 2 दिन की जिंदगी है, 2 दिन का मेला. आए भी अकेला, जाए भी अकेला. 2 दिन की जिंदगी है, 2 दिन का मेला.
And now the end is near, and so I face the final curtain. My friend, I'll say it clear, I'll state my case, of which I'm certain. I've lived a life that's full. I traveled each and every highway and more, much more than this. I did it my way. Regrets, I've had a few, but then again, too few to mention. I did what I had to do, saw it through without exemption. I planned each charted course, each careful step along the byway, and more, much more than this, I did it my way. Yes, there were times, I'm sure you knew, when I bit off more than I could chew. But through it all, when there was doubt Now, as tears subside, I find it all so amusing to think I did all that, and may I say, not in a
People may know that one. When you experience it.
Everybody, go proceed to what you're welcome. You want to go from what you did, and just talk to the family, put it good afterward, and continue, right? So, the next part is by Belgrove, the people talk about just put the house in hand. She said to the I will surprise you.
Not yet, huh? Yeah.
Yeah, today,